Hi, I'm Victoria Polley and I'm the sports editor at BBC Essex. When I was growing up, I always loved to play sport. I was big into my netball, which I still am, but it was maybe when I was around a teenager that I started to think there was a way that I could combine my love of watching sport with a career, and I always really enjoyed English at school, so initially I thought maybe I could do some sports writing and go on to become a sports journalist writing. It was only when I crossed paths with Neil Kelly, who is a Culture United commentator for BBC Essex, also was a college tutor at the time as well. I was able to do a scheme through school where I got to write a match report at Culture United, and this is how I ended up meeting Neil, and through that he offered me the chance to come and see how his job worked and see him commentate at a game. And from that initial contact then to a couple of years later, coming into the studio to see how things worked at BBC Essex. And first of all, I thought this looks really complicated, this radio stuff, all the different technical stuff in the studio and how you go edit audio. I thought maybe this isn't for me, maybe the plan of sticking to writing would be better for me. But the more I came into BBC Essex, the more I got to love the adrenaline of the live radio and working behind the scenes. And then from that point onwards, quite a few years ago now, I've worked my way up. I think some of the things I'm most proud of from my career extend all the way back to initially when I started working in radio on a Saturday for BBC Essex Sport. I was juggling university and working in radio, so going through all that and achieving my degree and then coming out and grafting away to get a full-time job. It wasn't easy to break straight into radio, and particularly to be into sport. When I first started at BBC Essex, I worked my way through various news jobs before I ended up full-time on sport. But some of my biggest achievements would be some of the interviews I've managed to do for BBC Essex Sport. When Essex won the county championship in the cricket in 2017, I was able to be there on the pitch for the trophy lift and interview a lot of the players, including Sir Alistair Cook, who was a big sporting hero of mine growing up. Also have interviewed the likes of Sir Trevor Brooking along the way as well, which was amazing, knowing what he's achieved in football, and probably doing my first football and cricket commentaries, covering the likes of Southend United, Colchester United and the cricket as well. Having my own cricket show, which I think it was 2018, where the cricket show didn't have a presenter for a couple of weeks. They were struggling to find some cover, and my boss said to me, right, you're presenting this 4-hour programme next week. And I'd never done any kind of presenting, and she gave me that opportunity to go out on air and do that for the first time. And from doing that for 3 weeks, they gave me the show, and I've now done that for 6 years. And then 2 years ago, being made sports editor at BBC Essex. So alongside the coverage of the sport, now I do a lot more planning and making sure everything is covered by our team. So yeah, there's been some really big moments along the way, and as well as that, outside of BBC Essex, I occasionally work for BBC Radio 5 Live, so I've done reporting out and about at football matches, and I also got to do a international cricket match over the winter for the Women's Under-19 World Cup. I would say on the whole, being a woman in sports broadcasting, I've had a lot of people be really supportive and lots of people help along the way on the journey, but you do have to prepare yourself for some negative comments, and I would say they always stick with you. You can get loads and loads of nice comments, people enjoying hearing you on air or listening to your commentary, but you do occasionally get some negative, and sometimes people not even realising what they're saying is mildly offensive, and I don't normally like listening to women or something, but they always stick with you, those negative ones, despite the fact you might have had lots of positive ones. So I do feel like you have to, as a woman, work twice as hard and try and make sure you've put that bit more hard work in to make sure you completely know your stuff, because if you make a mistake, people are going to pick up on it and say it's because you're a woman, whereas any commentator, any reporter, any presenter can make a mistake. But I think it's definitely got better, and I'm very grateful for those women who have been in broadcasting and women's sports broadcasters before me, because I'm sure it was so much more difficult, and they've paved the way and allowed me and another generation of sports broadcasters to come through. And I think as well, it's just having confidence in yourself. As a woman, sometimes I think we can maybe play down our strengths and our skills and not push ourselves forward as much when we need to be our biggest cheerleaders, because if you are facing any kind of negative criticism or feeling like it's more difficult to get to where you want to be, you've got to have confidence in yourself to know that you can do this job and brush off any of that negativity. But it can be difficult, but yeah, you definitely in those moments have to remember those positive comments, the positive feedback, and that support that you've got over anything negative that you might get as well. My advice to any women or girls who are looking to get into sports broadcasting is to just go out and do it. There's plenty of organisations or sports clubs that if you're starting off on your journey, getting that experience through some volunteering with them, through writing match reports, or maybe going out and doing some commentary, depending what level that is a really good way to start. Before I started doing work experience with BBC Essex, I'd done some work experience with a newspaper, I'd done some voluntary work for a local football club, and written some match reports for a local cricket club as well. So those are all things you can be doing even if you're not at the point yet where you're thinking about further education. Getting that experience, being involved in the environment, getting used to how it all works is a really good way to do it. And probably getting in touch with those outlets that you might want to work for, try and get work experience with at some point. I get a lot of messages and emails. I can't offer everybody opportunities, but those ones where the person who's writing to us has taken the time to look at what we actually do and seek us out. So I would say make sure you know who you're trying to get in touch with, what you want to be doing, and just try and get as much experience as possible. There's so many more routes into women for women in sports broadcasting now, whether you want to do a degree, university courses, whether you want to do apprenticeships. There's lots more routes now than there were when I was looking to get into it. So just take as many opportunities as you possibly can in order to get yourself the experience and follow the career path you want.